She is sure. She is sure. She is strong. She is strong. She is true. She is true. She is brave. She is brave. She is bold. She is bold. She is you.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's Word of Mom Radio here on the Word of Mom Media Network. I'm your host, Dori DeCarlo, and you know we are here week after week, show after show, breaking those myths that mompreneurs and businesswomen, especially those of us building our businesses from home, that we're just dabbling in between bake sales and getting our nails done. We're not. We are smart, we are savvy, and we are sharing the wisdom of women in business and in life. And I look forward to bringing today's guest into our coaching corner. Laura Watson has spent the last 30 years dedicated to helping individuals reach their full potential. She is an award-winning coach, a devoted wife and mother, and a world country dance champion. Her secret sauce lies in translating complex business, leadership, and communication concepts into practical ideas and actionable steps. As a whole person coach, Laura recognizes that business leaders face personal challenges as well. She addresses both professional and personal issues, often transitioning from business discussions to topics like addiction, parenting, and infidelity in a single session. So I could keep sharing about what Laura does, but so much better to bring her in. So with all that being said, Laura, welcome to Word of Mom Radio.
Hello, Dori. It's great to be here today. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. And I would love for you to take us on your journey that led you to coaching and all of the things that you're doing. And then we'll talk about some World Country Dance Championships, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, well, it's been quite a journey over the years. It all really began because I've always been passionate about helping people. I grew up, my parents were great role models for that. They were, always in service. And that's really where it started. And it started in the nonprofit arena, actually, because I got a master's in social work and I started in the counseling arena. So I started in the trenches doing child welfare work and documenting bruises, having to take parents to court, unfortunately, dealing with adolescent addictions and community crisis intervention, all really fascinating work and important work to do. But then I got to a place in my career where my children, it got a little tougher once I had my own kids, and then my kids were going into full-time school, and I started to evaluate how else can I help? Where else can I make a difference? And so I actually hired a career coach. And I worked with that person for a little while to help me gain some insight and explore some options. And that's when I discovered business and leadership coaching. And it was a natural transition of the skills I already had. And my husband had his first business at the time. And it really fascinated me about helping, business owners they're dealing with so much. There's, a lot to deal with in life itself. And then you add building a business on top of that and needing to make a profit and needing to lead other people. And it just takes our personal and professional development journey to a whole new level. So that's when I decided, yeah, you know what, this is really what I want to specialize in. And so I got some coach specific training so that I could dive into this arena. I worked with another business coach at the time. We collaborated, and that's really how I dove into this area. And it's been fascinating. I really love being able to coach people on both sides of what I call the business building coin, because there's the leadership and the business side of things and building a business effectively. And then there's the other side of the coin, which is our personal development and our relationships with our spouse, our kids, and ourselves personally. So that's how this all came to be. And here we are, like 25 years later.
I have to ask, how did you wind up weaving ballroom and country dancing into, where
Oh,
did that become such a passion for you?
Well, it's definitely a passion. And yes, dance was something I kind of always wanted to do, but never had a chance. I did not grow up dancing at all. It was not something that was really available in the small town I grew up in. So I would go to the high school dances, and do the booty shaking like everybody else does, and just, loved the sense of movement, but never really had a chance to pursue it. And then of course, you get married and you have kids, and your life is busy that way. My husband has zero interest in dancing. So, and I just got to a place in my life where it's like, you know what? This has always kind of been on the back burner. It's something I really want to do. I'm in my 40s now. If I'm going to do it, I better do it. And my husband was super supportive. He said, you know what? If you want to pursue this, then pursue it. So I'm like, okay, I did. And so, I've been dancing now for about 12, 13 years. Got into ballroom originally, absolutely loved it. Then a friend asked me if I would try country dancing. And so I got into that with him. I've always done it competitively as a reason to keep improving and getting better. And it worked because, in 2023, my friend and I actually won a world championship. So that was pretty cool.
That's amazing. As somebody, I did theater professionally my whole life. And my father ran Dale dance studios long before the other ones happened. I used to love dancing with my daddy because
Mm,
he was magic on the dance floor. So I love it. And it's so funny because I am not a country music fan, but I love country dancing. I really do. I love line dance. I love all of it. And then of course,
yeah,
ballroom, Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers. I mean, there's something so elegant. And it's funny
exactly.
because to me, it lends itself to somebody who's a coach because you have to be able to work in conjunction with the person that you're with, and as a coach, same
Absolutely.
thing. You have to work in conjunction with the people that you're working with as opposed to being adversarial because then it's not going to work. And so I'm going
Yeah,
to keep
it's a
it from,
partnership,
yeah,
right?
without a
And that's
doubt.
very, I don't consider myself my client's coach per se. I consider myself their partner. I get engaged with them and their business. I want obviously the best for them. I want them to be the best that they can be personally and professionally. And so I really consider myself their partner. And, just like in the dance world, amazing partnerships, and I formed a bit of a dance family because we travel
Mhm.
together and we do all these things together. My clients are my business family, and I really create that kind of connection with people. And because I'm there not just for the coaching session. If they need to chat with me between sessions, they're always welcome to reach out because I see it as building their business together.
Without a doubt. And in in looking at that, and I can see what you love about coaching. How is it for you when you step into that leadership coaching? Because you have those different levels, and as a leadership coach, totally what a shift.
Well, leadership coaching, I mean, yeah, business coaching tends to involve helping people like with their business plans and strategy and develop that sort of, and that is still present in leadership. But leadership dives even deeper. It's really about how are you showing up? Who are you being as a person, as a leader? And it's really about tapping into your authenticity. You know, leadership has often been viewed as a title. I'm the owner, I'm the manager, I'm the boss. And it kind of comes with this perception of having to make people do things to a degree. And that's, really not effective leadership. Leadership is about role modeling. It's about going first and inspiring people to want to follow you, not
Mhm.
following you because there's a paycheck attached. So it's really about enrollment, inspiration, having a vision, and then showing up, being the best version of yourself, which is difficult when you've got stress going on. You've got the stress of, your clients demanding things from you. You've got the stress of your team demanding things from you. Your kids at home still needing you, your spouse needing you, having to write those paychecks and pay the bills. There's a lot of stress involved, and it can be difficult to show up at your best. So leadership really is about learning how to be the best version of yourself in stressful situations, and also learning how to coach others to do the same. Because again, leadership's not just about telling people what to do. It's really, if you can show up in your leadership and actually learn how to coach others to become the best that they can be, that's when the whole business moves forward. Does that make sense?
I like the way you're phrasing it insofar as how you are showing up as a leader. It's interesting. We have a show, Sue Donnellan does a show with us on Word of Mom Radio called Ask Mom Parenting, talking about how everything we learned as parents is wrong because we read parenting books about how to change our kids. And it's really yourself.
We
How
have to change
are you
ourselves.
showing up as a parent? And it's amazing because when you say that to people, it's, because if your kid's lying, it's because you haven't created an atmosphere where they feel like they can tell the truth. It's the same thing at work.
It's safe.
As a leader, if you've got somebody, as somebody who I started in multi-level marketing, which I'm a huge fan of. And one of the first things you learn is problems go up and good news goes down. That's who you talk to. When you've got a problem, you go to the people higher than you. And when you're the boss, then you go to your coach. You don't take your problems and put them down on your VPs and stuff like that, or your downlines. And
that's right.
Very often people forget that. It's like, hey, the good news, you want to excite everybody you're working with. They don't need to know how you make the secret sauce. That's why you work with a coach. That's why you work with accountability people and things like that, because in creating that sense of calmness in your team, that everything's going to move forward and the boss knows what's going on, it really is how you show up. So it's got to be
exactly. And the adage is true, it can be lonely at the top. Right. So as you do, as an owner, as a leader, you have to show up and be your best for your team. But who gets to take care of you? Our spouses often don't understand the situation. Our friends often aren't business owners. They don't get it the same way. So owners, leaders, they need support. And so, yes, it can be hard to find a peer group, or you go to a networking event, but everyone's at the networking event, trying to put the brave face on and say everything's great. Who do you get to really share what's real and think through how to deal with what you're dealing with? That's, in my opinion, that's a huge role for a coach.
On that note, think of what Laura just said. We're going to take a quick break, say thank you to our supporters, and we'll be back here in just a moment on Word of Mom Radio. She is brave, she is bold, she is you, and we want to tell your story. Are you ready to share your journey with us on Word of Mom Radio? Go to wordofmomradio.com and register as a guest. We want to tell your story because when you win, we all win.
In 2017, Unsilenced Voices was formed to help survivors of domestic abuse and gender-based violence worldwide. The organization currently serves Sierra Leone, Rwanda, Ghana, and the USA. In 2022, Unsilenced Voices gifted over $33,000 to survivors in the USA. And in Sierra Leone, there are over 26 young girls who have been rescued from sex trafficking and domestic abuse and now going through vocational training school in order to better their lives. We need your help. Donations are critical in order for us to continue our work. We also need volunteers to help with research and development. Please visit unsilencedvoices.org for more information.
And we're back here on Word of Mom Radio. We are talking with Laura Watson, who is the founder of Venture Coaching. and really talking about how you show up as a leader. And then let's face it, the leader's got to have somebody to talk to, because sometimes you go on the ledge, sometimes you just need that reinforcement from your coach that, man, you're doing it great. You're doing a great job, because you are the person that they are looking up to help hone the things. So for you yourself, as a business owner, what was your biggest challenge in building your business?
Oh my gosh, great question. So my biggest challenge in the beginning, and boy, did I wrestle with this, was learning how to sell, actually. Because I came out of the nonprofit arena as in the counseling arena, and my clients were handed to me. And so as I transitioned into coaching, I had to go out and find my own clients. And I had all this messed up thoughts and limiting beliefs and perception about what selling was. I thought it was slimy. I didn't like it. I thought it was pushy. I thought I had to prove myself. And in my coach training, we were trained, oh, just provide an amazing coaching session. People will automatically see the value and automatically sign up. Well, that didn't happen. I had people, I was doing the free sessions and people were saying, oh my God, that was life-changing. And I was expecting, great, they're going to sign the contract. But they're like, oh yeah, no, but thanks anyways, it was great. And so like, wow. So I really struggled. And um, I struggled until I discovered a book that my husband recommended, actually, called Spin Selling. And SPIN is an acronym. If anyone wants to develop their sales conversation, I recommend reading that book. But what I had to learn was that selling was not about pushing or convincing people. Selling was a helping conversation. And just like all my other work, I really needed to just ask questions about, and I just needed to understand what's going on in this person's world, what's happening for them, and what's going to happen if they don't solve the problem. And then once I started asking those questions, and then I could help them understand, okay, you know what? If we have these coaching conversations, I'm going to be able to help you move from where you are now to where you want to be tomorrow. And that's when we started to bridge that gap of understanding between how coaching is a conversation that helps people get where they want to go faster. And so when I was able to bridge that gap with people, that's when everything, changed for me. That's when my roster got fuller and I was really away to the races. But it was all about me needing to shift my headspace and my understanding about the conversation. That's what made the difference.
You've broadened your skills and you're certified in parent effectiveness training.
Mm-hmm.
Do you find every once in a while it translates to the adults you're working with?
Oh, every day.
Curious.
Every day. You said that there's no parent earlier in our conversation today. You said there's no parenting book. We tend to parent the way we were parented, and that's absolutely true. And when my kids were young, yeah, I heard things coming out of my mouth that were like, oh my gosh, that's my father speaking. And that's not who I want to be. And it was really serendipitous, actually, because my husband, like I said, he had his first business and he was working with a coach. He came home one day and said, my coach told me I'm not a very good listener. And I'm like, really? He says, yeah, my coach wants me to get this book called Leader Effectiveness Training. So I went on the hunt. I found leader effectiveness training. I found parent effectiveness training. Read the book and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so powerful because it's all about communication. It's all about how do we communicate with people more effectively, in particular with our kids, but also with our employees, with our spouses. So yes, like a week after I read the book, I was in the training program to get certified. And I use that material absolutely every day because it's it's not just about what to do different. It's about how. How do you communicate? How do you listen? Everyone says, well, I got to listen more. Well, how do you do that? And that's what another thing I'm really passionate about is helping people bridge theory to practice. And so PET, LET, those are materials that have been around for decades, but they really teach how to implement those skills. And yes, absolutely, I use them every day in my coaching sessions with my clients because they're talking to their spouses, they're talking to their team, they're needing to delegate more effectively, and all of those skills come into play.
How do you help that translate into how you listen? Because very often people listen to respond as
Exactly.
to listen to what is being said and actually hearing it. And I always liked, say it back to me. Don't paraphrase it. Or when they paraphrase it, you really hear, it's like, no, that's not what I said. That's what you heard. And it's very interesting how you can say one thing and somebody's hearing a completely different conversation. How do you work with that? How do you bridge that? How do you find that the PET comes in with that?
Oh, it teaches all about that. And so you were just talking about we often listen to respond. And Stephen Covey said it best when he says, listen to understand. So that's the foundational principle. First, we have to realize and embrace, I'm listening to understand. Then how do you do that? Exactly what you were just talking about. It's an active listening process because people, when they're listening to respond, they're also listening through their filters. They're listening through their stories and how they view the world. And so what the communication is coming through their filters, they're making assumptions, and then they're responding based on those filters and assumptions. Active listening is a process of turning all that off and really being present to the other person and listening to understand. How we do that is by paraphrasing the other person. Well, I think I just heard this, or I think based on what you just said, this is my understanding, blah, blah, blah. Is that correct? And then the person speaking gets to say, yep, you got it, you understand, or not. And then they have another opportunity to clarify their original intention. And I find that happens all the time. There's misunderstandings present in the workplace all the time, which then leads to frustration. It leads to time wasted because people run off and do projects the wrong way, and then it has to get redone. Time is money. So the implications of not listening effectively, not communicating effectively are huge.
Do you have, in talking about all this, do you have a favorite client story, a success story that you just look back and go, God, that was great?
I do, I have a gentleman, I'm still working with him. We've been working together probably 3 years now. And when we first started, he reached out originally because it was kind of a last ditch effort for himself and his business. He'd been in his business for a number of years. He's in IT, and so it's not a mom necessarily, but he is a dad. And dads have very similar issues to moms.
They do.
And yeah, he was about to walk away from his business and called me in an last-ditch effort to make things better. And so we worked on those filters and those assumptions, that mindset stuff that I was just talking about. We worked on his communication skills with his family, with his one team member. We worked on business planning and execution together. Now, 3 years later, he's got a team of 5. He's got more revenue in his business than he's ever had. He's killing it. He's got an awesome team in place. We are all building the business together. And now he's talking about he's always wanted to go to England and live in England. So now he's talking about setting up a branch office in London. So It's just so exciting. In 3 years, we've taken him from feeling hopeless and wanting to give up to now having a fantastic team in place and going off and building a branch office. So I consider that a pretty cool success story.
That's a pretty cool success story considering now he's going international. So
Yes.
as we wrap up, because it's a great way to close out this conversation, what do you want to leave our listeners with, Laura, and how may they reach out to you?
So, yeah, I invite your listeners to get help. Building a business is hard. We can't do it alone. We need a business family around us. So, because we get stuck in our own mindset, we get stuck in limiting perspective, and we can't know it all. That's why we need to have people around us to help us go faster. So get help, get mentorship, hire a coach, do whatever it takes so that you don't have to do it alone. It's too stressful to be carrying the load all by yourself. Whether it would be me or somebody else, just get help. If people do want some tools and strategies, they're welcome to go to my website, which is venturecoaching.ca. And there's a free stuff page there. There's a bunch of free ebooks that they can download that are going to help them from everything from business planning to the communication stuff that we were talking about, to giving people feedback more effectively, and some sales and marketing stuff. There's lots of free resources there. And of course, I'm always happy to have a conversation with people. So that's what I'd like to encourage people to do today is don't do it alone. Build a business family around you so that you can move forward faster.
Thank you so much, Laura. I love what you just said. I really do. And I feel like all of Laura's links are going to be live on Word of Mom Radio. I encourage you to reach out because, you were talking about mindset. When you flip that mindset switch, everything changes. It's amazing how everything changes. In that way, you can have your business plan, you can have everything, but flipping that switch, going from listening to respond to listening to understand, that in a nutshell is such a game changer as a leader, as a friend, as a partner, whatever. So talk about getting out there and making your best self. Laura, thank you so much for taking the time to come and share with us today. I really appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure, Dori. Hopefully we've given your listeners some value today, and thanks so much for having me.
Oh, I think you have. And for all of you tuning in, thanks so much for being here. We're going to close out with our fabulous theme song from Smith Sisters and the Sunday Drivers. So till next time, this is Dori DeCarlo saying go out and create a marvelous you. Bye for now.
She is sure. She is sure. She is strong. She is strong. She is true. She is true. She is brave. She is brave. She is bold. She is bold. She is you. She is you. She is you. She is you. She is sure. She is sure. She is strong. She is strong. She is true. She is true. She is brave. She is brave. She is bold. She is bold. She is you. She is you. She is you. She is you. Sure of herself, yeah, she takes care of biz. Powerful and strong, yeah, she knows who she is. Has integrity, woman strong and true. You know her by name, see this woman is you. She is sure, she is sure. She is strong, she is strong. She is true, she is true. She is brave, she is brave. She is bold, she is bold. She is you, she is you. She is you, she is you. She is sure, she is sure. She is strong, she is strong. She is true, she is true. She is brave, she is brave. She is bold, she is bold. She is you, she is you. She is you, she is you. Adds value and hope, has proved to be brave. See, it's never too late, never time to behave. Reaching for dreams, doesn't matter the age. Believes in herself, unleashed from her cage. She is sure, she is sure. She is strong, she is strong. She is true, she is true. She is brave, she is brave. She is bold, she is bold. She is you, she is you. She is you, she is you. She is sure, she is sure.